Hi everyone. With UIM 20.3, there have been multiple enhancements around UIM API and MCS CLI. So let's go through what are the enhancements done. The maintenance mode APIs are being enhanced so that a user would be able to do an end-to-end use case to automate um, his environment with respect to creating maintenance schedules, adding groups, removing groups, adding computer systems, removing computer systems, um, and so on and so forth. So, to fill in gaps between the APIs, the following APIs are being added to maintenance mode APIs in UIM API. Okay, they are get all schedules, get details of a maintenance schedule from the UIM system, add a group to the maintenance schedule and remove group from a maintenance schedule, get list of maintenance schedules given for a given computer system. Now, when it comes to adding a group to a maintenance schedule, it is a static addition of all the devices which belong to the group to the maintenance schedule. Say suppose if there is any device which is removed from the group, the maintenance schedule attached to that device is not revoked. It has to be done manually. It is only a static addition and a static removal when it comes to adding or removing groups from a maintenance schedule. So on a typical use case, a user would like to perform would be like this. User would first get a list of valid time zones to get the time zone specification, add a new maintenance schedule, and then add a list of computer systems to a maintenance schedule, add a group if needed, remove a list of computer systems from maintenance schedule, remove a group, and if you want to, you can delete the maintenance schedule. Let's go through the demo. Here is the latest UIM API. Okay, and all the maintenance mode related APIs are found under the maintenance mode resource. So here are the APIs. First, let's go to an API which will list all the maintenance schedules in the UIM. So I've already executed one. Let me execute it again. So there are two schedules in my environment. It is being listed here. Okay. Schedule ID is 3 and the schedule specifications are as below. Now, I can get the details of the maintenance schedules from the UIM system using this API. I'll give the schedule ID here and then it would retrieve me the details of that particular schedule. Now, we can get what maintenance schedules are being added for a given computer system. All we have to do is give the CSID of the computer system and then execute. There are no schedules. Let's go ahead, add a group where this computer system belongs to the particular schedule and see how it behaves. Yeah. This particular API is used to add a group to a maintenance schedule. All I had to give is a group ID and the schedule ID and execute the API. I've got a success response and then I would go back to my device which is part of that particular group to fetch if there are any schedules. Yes, the schedule is being added against the device. I mean, the device is now the member of that particular schedule. And let's go ahead and try to remove the group from the schedule. I've given the same group and the same schedule and trying to execute the remove operation. Here, if you see, it's a success response. Now we can go back to the device which earlier gave me that there was one schedule against it and execute it. You can see there are no devices anymore. Okay, let's move on. Apart from the maintenance mode APIs, UIM API is also added with all the APIs related to alarm policies. Here are the list of APIs related to alarm policies that user can be able to perform using UIM API. User would be able to retrieve all alarm policies. Based on the options, only a number of alarm policies can be retrieved. A paginated list can be retrieved. The default value of page is 0 and the page size is 10. Search and sort facilities are also available. A default sort direction is descending by ID. User can also create an alarm policy. Policy payload consists of multiple conditions which can be of type device, group, or technology. The enabled flags is used to specify whether the policy have to be enabled or disabled after creation. The values would be true or false. The alarm messages, clear messages, or actions, the default values of them can be retrieved using the policy management APIs, the Actions API and the Messages API, which are also part of the UIM API. And user can also customize these actions. And coming to conditions. Conditions contain policy metrics, thresholds, and targets. Targets being of type device, group, or technology. A policy target of type device is as below. It would have type, which is device, the target ID, that is the CSID of the target device, and the name of the target device, monitoring host name and host ID of the device, and then is it a remote policy or not. Policy target of type group is as this. A type group and the target ID would be the group ID and the name would be the group name. The policy target of type technology and target ID is the device or group ID where it is applied, and the remote target name is the device name or group name. Policy metric in case of technology has the profile ID and name and probe name along with the metric data, which can be retrieved using the metric APIs. Here are other alarm policy related APIs in UIM API. An account user can delete all the account policies under his account. A particular policy can be retrieved by specifying the policy ID, and it can also be updated and removed. And the state of a particular policy can also be changed to enable or disable it. These are the default actions and messages can be retrieved using these APIs. The other API is used to seed policies from the existing profiles. Let's go to the demo. These are the APIs which I was talking about. All the APIs related to alarm policies can be found under this policy resource. Let's go through one by one. This API is used to retrieve all the policies in UIM. In order to retrieve just the count, just place the count as true, and then you can retrieve just the count. You see, there are about 3 policies in my environment, including both default policies and custom policies. In order to retrieve the list of policies, user can get a paginated list by specifying the page number and the page size, and search text facilities and sort facilities are also available where user can give it a try. Let me try to retrieve all the policies in my environment. See, these are the policies in my environment. I have a device-based policy, a group-based policy, and another is the default alarm policy. That's about retrieving all policies. In order to create new policy, I have already given a payload for a group-based policy. I am trying to create a policy for group 2. I specified the group and the target ID and the group details here, and the metric details have retrieved using the metrics API and have provided them here. Let me try to execute it. Alarm policy for group 2 is now created. If you go back, you can see alarm policy for group 2 is being created. UIM API only takes care of creating, deleting, and updating alarm policies, but the policy processing is being managed via policy management itself. This API is used to remove all the account policies for the account user. We can retrieve a particular policy using this API. I have a policy for device-based policy with these details that it has retrieved. I can update a specific policy as well using these API. For a simple check, let me update the description to 3 and then execute it. You see, the description 3 is shown here. A specific policy can be deleted by trying these API. We'll try it at last. And we can update the state of the API, of the policy, sorry, by using this particular API. I have alarm policy 2. I have alarm policy 2, which is enabled now. Let me disable it. And it's a success response. Let's try to retrieve the same policy again. You see, it's disabled already. This is the API which I was talking about to retrieve any default policy actions. We'll come to export and import at a later point of time. Let's move on to retrieving default messages. This is used to seed policies from existing profiles. Let's try to delete the policy 2. It's a success response. The disabled policy should now go away. You see, it's gone. That's about all the APIs related to alarm policies in UIM API. With UIM 20.3, both UIM API and policy management are enhanced to support export of alarm policies from one UIM environment to another and import them to another environment. During export, user can either provide a list of policy IDs, group ID, device ID, or technology to export the policies. The export format can be either JSON or XML. User can download the files using the Swagger UI itself, and then we can use the same file to import the policies in the file to the target environment. While importing, user will have to provide a mapping file. Mapping file is used to map the entities in the source environment to those in the target environment. For a group-based policy, the source policy target type should be group. For a device-based, it should be device, and for a technology-based, it should be technology. In case of technology-based policies, the IDs would be the profile IDs. So a JSON file has to be provided in this particular format, which is an array list of each map. Okay, and then user will have to provide the policies file which he wants to import. There is one limitation with respect to this feature. Metrics have to be present prior to import and the type of policy cannot be changed. For example, a group-based policy cannot be applied on a device, and it has to be applied on any other group in the target environment. Let's move on to the demo. These are the APIs which are used to import and export alarm policies from UIM API, and the same APIs can be found in Policy Management API as well. Let's have a look at how the export works. We need to specify a list of policy IDs, a group ID, or a device ID, or the probe to retrieve the technology-based policies. And the policies file, exported file format can be either XML or JSON. Let's have a look at this one. Let me try to retrieve one policy with ID 3. You see, it's a success response and you have a link to download the file. This is the policy which is exported. There is a policy ID 3 with its conditions, targets, thresholds, actions, and messages. We can also export based on group ID. So it has exported me the policy of group 2. Similarly, we can give device ID and we can give the probe name to retrieve the device base or the technology-based policies. We can import the exported policies to another file. For time being, I'm trying to import into the same environment. Let me show you the format of the mapping file. I want to import all the alarm policies which were on group 8 to group 9. Once executed, it will retrieve me the policies which are applied into group 9. You see the policy target. It is being applied to group 9. We can always go refresh this page. See this policy, it is being applied to group 3. That's about export and import of alarm policies in UIM API. You can always try the same in policy management as well.